Our Yoruba brothers are concerned and also very, very angry with what Alex Otti is doing in Abia State. I repeat, our Yoruba brothers from the southwest, very angry, very concerned, and also outraged over what Alex Otti seems to be doing in Abia State. The development is that we abolished state of origin in Abia State. It started with Benjamin Kalu. Now, the implementation has started in Abia State. Afenifere is saying that in the southwest, in Yoruba land, we don't want anything, we are not abolishing anything called state of origin. Don't make it a constitutional law. I trust the president is not going to pass that bill. With multi-ethnic societies, with the current system that we are practicing, with the ethnicities, the difference in ideologies that we have, should we be pushing for abolishment of state of origin? Are Nigerians united in purpose, in ideals and ideology? Look at what is happening in Uromi. You know that the mindset, the sentiment of these people that call themselves Nigerians differ in so many ways. We differ in thinking, in ideology, in manner of approach, in however. An average Fulani Northerner tells you that the killing of a Deborah is supposed, although the constitution is against it. But an average Southerner who is still a Muslim sees so many things wrong with it. So is it these two people we are going to bring together under the guise of abolishment of state of origin? Won't we be preserving our culture, our ethnicities, preserving our heritage? Because if you are going to, one thing about Nigeria is that Nigeria is unevenly arranged. Some states are much more viable than other states. If you abolish the state of origin, many people are going to desert their hometowns. Many people are going to desert their culture. Many people are going to desert their heritage. Many people are going to desert their ancestral homes and lands and search for greener pastures. If you make it a law in Nigeria, if you pass it at the House of Reps, the Senate pass it, and the president assents to it, it becomes law. Most people are going to, from the moment you see that this has been passed, most people are going to be leaving their ancestral societies, because it seems like some seem to be, I'm using the word seem to be more superior than others. Some seem to be more superior than others. So if the government of Abia State is abolishing state of origin, anybody that comes there will come. That means most Abians might not be empowered. Because when you look at the southeast, critically. Every state have their selling point, have an area whereby they are very good at. The head of civil service in Abia State is an Edo man. You see, Tinubu is making appointments of Yorubas. There's one advantage of him making such appointments, and there are disadvantages. I'll tell you the advantages. A Yoruba man is appointed to head the Bank of Industry and Agriculture of recent. Another one is held to I think that person is a Yoruba man at Jakuta Steel. The appointment of Yoruba exposes them to so many things. Exposure matters. Exposure, connection, building bridges matters. As a journalist, I've worked with some people. I know some people, have some contacts. I've done a lot of things because of how I was opportune to work in a particular firm, and it helped me expose to so many things that ordinarily, if you are on your own, you cannot get exposed to. So most societies will be threatened if you abolish state of origin. Most societies will go extinct. That is why you see people are leaving Nigeria for bigger societies like the United States. Our politicians, their children are lost with Western culture and civilization, abandoning their own civilization, because you can leave Nigeria and go to America and become a citizen there. Most people don't even want to come back. Most kings, traditional rulers, want to spend their whole lives abroad. Okay, it's only when they die because of they bring them. Your presence in a community, in a society, means a lot. Your contribution in an environment, like I said, all those places that you say Fulani are attacking, those in Adani, you see Fulani attack, kill this one, kill that one. If you have enough population, enough civilization, if our Igbo brothers are not those people that always leave their ancestral home and go for greener pastures, if they are always there, if they are developed as it were, as it is supposed, that thing they are looking for in the United States, if it could be found in Enugu State and in those areas, it will be very difficult for those Fulani to penetrate those villages. Very difficult. It will be very difficult. But you are abolishing state of origin, and I hope they don't implement it, because that is not what the Igbo people need now. We need to solidify our base. We need to understand our ideals, our agenda as an Igbo people. We need somebody that can galvanize the Igbo people, come together and work united. United we stand, divided we fall. Bringing in state of origin, abolishment, you are trying to weaken the Igbo society. That is my take. You have your take about that. I don't believe in one Nigeria. Abolishing state of origin is believing in one Nigeria. You don't believe that Nigeria could work. You see all these big men in their own world, you know, they are united over there. There's no disparity over there, so they don't really come down to the base and think like the people that they are ruling or they are leading. There's no united Nigeria anywhere as we speak. In fact, this disease of hatred for one tribe or the other from the older people have been passed to the younger people. So when I see Afenifere saying we are against what the Abia state government is doing, I understand that Nigeria was never one in the first place. Nobody wants to be brothers with each other, because nobody wants you to encroach into their space like the way Nnamdi Azikiwe, in quote, as accused by Awolowo, is encroaching with NCNC into action, take over the southwest. And some of the excuses they give, that if this Biafra or you were fighting, if you did not wanted to cross over and enter Ore and take over Lagos, we Yorubas will have not gotten involved in that fight. So nobody wants you to encroach into their space. Now this abolishing or abolishment of state of origin is like encroaching into other people's space. You're encroaching into their space. We as Igbos have been crying and calling out. It's like we don't understand what it means to secure and protect our heritage and culture. We may even be like the Hausas without even being colonized. We may be like the Hausas, that nobody remembers anything, that any culture that is connected to the Hausas. Ofala festival, the Igbos are doing Ofala festival. If you don't have people that have been preserving that culture, coming to actively participate in such culture, become the progenitors, upholding the values, the ethics, the secrets of those culture. If you don't have people and you are pushing for a state of, you can see how Lagos is crowded. Lagos has an advantage. Lagos is a Yoruba land. So you do that and people see, okay, if I have this indigenous status, then I become a Lagosian. I can get some of the benefits. I can call myself a Yoruba man, or this or that, or blah blah blah. Most people will be converting to other societies. In Nigeria today, the Igbo man is at a disadvantage. For the meantime, the Igbo man is at a disadvantage. Let us understand who we are. Let us pass this understanding to the next generation. Proud of your Igbo-ness. I said something, and I'll do the experiment. When you walk on the streets of Lagos and there's an Ishiagu, you see the Yorubas, they wear their cap freely. They wear it. See the Hausas, they wear their own attire. But you see the Igbos, very hard. Igbos full everywhere. Very hard for them to represent their culture. Because it seems nobody is identifying with whatever. You think by not wearing something that represents you is not important. You think so. All of us we see here, this one now, white man invention. We are representing the white man in every. If we are in school, we use English to teach. If we are doing our programs, we use English to speak. That's the white man. The white man, whatever culture, what we represent the white man. If you are looking at intelligence, if you are an intelligent person, you must know how to speak English. We value people by their speaking of English. But why our own language and culture is being neglected? If you're not careful, it will go extinct. Our younger people cannot be able to take the mantle from the older people because they have not been involved. So you abolishing state of origin, people leave their lands. I support the Afenifere people. We don't want abolishment in Abia state. Nigeria is not meant, it's a forced union. You don't force it. You don't force it on people to become Nigerians or to want to. You don't. This is like an attack on people's societies, civil societies. It's like an attack. The Igbo are a special breed of people. The Igbos are a special breed of people. You see, one thing about Igbo blood is that Igbo blood is strong, is dominant. I've said this before. Let an Igbo woman marry a Yoruba man. One of my friends got married to a Yoruba man, or my colleagues in the office got married to a Yoruba man. It's like the man starts behaving like Igbo. Call Yoruba man. So the gene, you know, when kings want to get married, they get married with pure blood. You don't mix everything, and that's why you say Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani, they are mixed to the extent that the dominant, which is the Fulani, will forever impoverish and dominate and put Hausa under subjugation because they are the dominant. The Fulani, they are dominant. They will forever put the Hausa under subjugation. So if you are bringing all this, the dominant factor, the Yorubas are afraid. Let me use the word afraid. I stand to be corrected. I've said it. If a Fulani marry a Yoruba man, the Yoruba man start behaving like the Fulani. If Igbo marry a Yoruba man, the Yoruba man start behaving like Igbo. Why? Why is it so? I've seen a lot of people. Their children tend to go to their mother's side. Okay, if a Yoruba woman marries an Igbo man, the children claim Igbo. If a Yoruba woman marries a Fulani, the children claim Fulani. So you are trying to make some cultures like look irrelevant and probably look maybe go extinct or uninteresting. It's very unfortunate that at this point in time we are here that we are today. We are having Southeast governors that are not looking at the brighter future. They are calling out state of origin for what? You are repeating the same mistakes. If I would say, Nnamdi Azikiwe did, I said it before, every person was planning this regional system, sustain it. Nnamdi Azikiwe with him, I too know an arrogant attitude. He's pushing for Africa. Where has he gotten the Igbos to today? Where has he gotten us to? He never knew that they were using him. They were hailing him, Zik of Africa. They were using him. The colonial powers, the colonial masters were using him to cause division. I listened to a British lady, an influential British lady. She made a statement. Because there's one thing about this indigenization. State of origin is very important to preserve our cultures. Because if you look at the world today, Superior cultures are taking over weaker cultures. Superior civilization are taking over weaker civilization. The British those days, their territories that they turned to British, like they turned into Britain. There's some territories that the British will go to. Okay, they will take over the land, they will settle there. I want to make those people British. It never worked in Africa, in West Africa. There's some other territories that the British go. They are not interested in turning them to British. They want to take from their natural resource. So it is dog eats dog of fish. Bigger fish eat smaller fishes. Civilizations are taking over civilizations. I said it in my former broadcast that the reason why Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is able to muzzle and send France away is because he gets the backing of a bigger civilization, that is Russia. Russia has now discovered oil. Russia don't discover oil. 50 billion barrels of oil, as the report stated, in Burkina Faso. Because of that backing. Without the backing of a bigger fish, because it is bigger fish, if you want to get liberated today, if Biafra is going or whatever country, we need the backing of a bigger fish. So what matters in global politics today is bigger civilization are taking over smaller civilization. So you put out this state of abolishment of state of origin, bigger ethnicities will now start absorbing smaller ethnicities, because sometimes there are some people you never meet. There are some tribes you never meet until you die, but you are all Nigerians. Some tribes that are not even proud to come as that. They are not coming out expressing themselves. This is my tribe. Some hide under Yoruba, some hide under Hausa, some hide under Igbo or EBB or whatever. If you now implement it all over Nigeria, then there will be big problem. You see, I hope these people are not being pushed by these Western powers. Because these people that abolished this Agui and Nnamdi Azikiwe that made sure that we cannot practice regionalism and we cannot have separate states is one of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria today. The bigger picture is that there are some unforeseen forces that doesn't want Nigeria to be stable. So they will bring one or two things that will contaminate, destabilize the current structures on ground. And one of these things is abolishment of state of origin. It will contaminate our structures. As Africans, don't compare us to the United States. This Oyibo lady, like I said first time, she made an allegation. And you know, in Nigeria, we already have ethnic division. That's why the Nigeria cannot work. The Oyibos, the colonial masters, the neo-colonialists, they are happy that Nigeria is a divided venture. That people that cannot come together and collectively push them out, like what Ibrahim Traore and that of Mali and Niger Republic are doing. I think some people are joining them. So they know that Nigeria, different ethnicities, put Obara in their midst. They cannot come together and reason together the way forward. Instead, this one would fight this one. That one will fight this one. This one will seize power, use power for 8 years, enrich himself, pass the other one. They will play the politics. Other people will be crying and fighting and fighting. They have made the Fulani even invincible. Is it the Fulani that you are talking of abolishing state of origin? How can you become a Fulani? The Fulani even wants that everybody become under them and maybe start behaving like Fulani. So you put some ethnicities, you put some cultures at risk. The woman said that Britain caused civil war in Nigeria. When she said it, I relaxed and I looked at her. I had this thought before that Nzogu and Co, they were not acting on the orders of the Igbo people. Or however, maybe they took over. They were not acting on the orders of the Igbo people. There was a setup kind of to make sure that Nigeria is destabilized, and that civil war till date. It's one of the biggest problems that Nigeria as a country is facing. Only God will help us to recover from the civil war. So nobody is going to agree with whichever story you are bringing. We know that when people bring out history, they are always biased. There's so many bias in history. When people tell you that history, so many lies and half truths. Somebody says Oduduwa came from the sky. That's mythology, and that's also history. Some people will not believe. So why clash people together? Why not existing systems create opportunity for existing systems to operate? There's a system for Biafra, system for Oduduwa, system for Ijo, system of create existing system. Why are you trying to abolish this state of origin? Anybody that you can, if you are not Abia, you come Abia, you're a good citizen, you can do this and that and that. At the end of the day, Abia people might not be empowered. However, you don't even see any Abia person. You are doing it, other states are not doing it. It should be a unanimous thing if it's going to happen. You are doing Lagos State, other states, Anambra, River State, Kano, Kaduna is not doing it. So I too know you use Abia as the scapegoat. Then after, most Abians will not be having to be empowered, to be exposed, to be employed. Well, however, I don't think that the president will assent to whatever. Let the governor of Abia State look for better things to do and remove this abolishment state of origin in Abia State.